right. Let's go.
Here we go.
Here we go, man. We are back. Episode 13?
13 right now, yeah.
Episode 13. We are in a new location. We have never recorded here.
It's true.
It's nice. It's very bright.
Is it?
Yeah, yeah.
Lots of windows.
You seem very happy with that. You're like, thanks.
Is it? Thanks,
Yeah, man. Yeah, there's so many windows.
Yeah, exactly. Even though it's like cloudy outside or whatever, it is very bright in here.
Yeah, it's awesome, man.
In comparison.
Natural light is, compared to the dungeon that was my
It wasn't a dungeon or anything like that. But it's normally darker, like in the living room where we normally do it, which we might have a bit of reverb going on because it's so spacious. You know, ceilings are just so high here.
Yeah, they really are. Like this is a house for giants.
Yeah, exactly.
It's good, man. You did good. We are in John's new apartment, and we're coming at you Monday evening. We had a super condensed 4-day of just pure running on fumes.
We did.
We played 3 shows in 4 days.
Yep.
So Wednesday we played at the old folks home we talked about last show.
Yep.
And then Thursday day off.
We played golf.
We played golf.
We played golf that day, actually.
And then we played men's night.
Yeah.
I had the worst 9 holes of my life.
It was hilarious.
Ever.
It was absolutely insane.
By far.
Yeah.
It was
It was rough.
Real.
Rough to say the least.
Thankfully, we couldn't get past hole 13 because of darkness.
Exactly.
Thank God.
Yeah, exactly.
My streak of breaking 100 for every round since May last year would have been broken.
There we go.
That was so bad, man.
It was really, really, really rough.
I had a 13 on a hole.
I won $40. I won $40 in KPs.
You won 2 of them.
I won 2 KPs.
Wow.
Yeah.
There we go.
I know.
I realized my mic wasn't close enough, so
that's
all
all right.
A little bit quieter there to start.
That's all right.
Cool, dude. Yeah, I didn't know you won 2 of them. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because I almost got an eagle on number 4.
You really did. You were like
4.5 inches out, but they rounded it up to 5.
Oh, okay. You should have just put 4.
I know I should have. Well, whatever.
Either way, nobody was getting it unless
Either way.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fantastic. Yeah, you went past the green onto the fringe on the back.
Yeah, but it didn't so when past it and whatnot, but it was probably only 5-10 yards past the hole.
No, I know, but that's what made it amazing. Is you overdrove the green on your second shot on the par 5, right? So I mean, you could have been putting for. I thought at first you were going to be putting until we got closer.
Yeah,
but yeah, no, that was unbelievable.
Either way,
that was so cool.
Yeah, it was awesome.
That was really good. Just easiest tap-in birdie you've ever had in your life.
Yeah, I would say so.
What about that almost hole in one? Was that closer?
A few weeks ago. Oh, by myself. Yeah, that was probably closer.
That was closer.
Yeah, I don't know. It felt closer.
Felt closer because it was almost a hole in one.
Because it was almost a hole in one, right?
But
of course,
this might have been closer. Who knows?
Yeah, exactly. That would have been an albatross if it went in.
It would have been an albatross
or double eagle, whatever you want to call it.
I think it's an albatross.
I think it's an albatross too.
That would have pissed me off.
I know, exactly.
Oh my God.
Sorry guys, I've never had an eagle before, but boom, there's an albatross.
Here's a 2 on a par 5.
Yeah, exactly.
God, I would have been pissed.
Oh, I know.
It would have made the next hole is when I melted down. Anyways, maybe I melted down because you had such a great shot.
Yeah, I don't know.
Birdie, who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah, man, it was super super fun.
Friday we played.
So we did that, and then Friday we played in Vancouver. So we both drove down separately, but a lot of people might have that are listening to this probably saw it on our socials as Alina was posting, and I think I posted when I got there or something.
You did. It was very funny. Alina laughed.
I showed my hotel room. I'm like, I'm by myself
because I'm single.
I'm single.
Just had to slide that in every single time.
Every time. And then on
Friday night, we ended up playing in Gastown, which was amazing. Tons of fun.
It was so wicked. Matthew Presidente was fantastic.
Yeah.
He was so awesome. They put on such a really fun show.
Yeah.
We had a good little turnout too.
We did.
So thank you to everybody that came out. It was actually, it was surprising. We had some extra faces there and didn't think we'd be there. And yeah, it was fun. It was wicked. It was super cool. Our guy Kevin from Live Act loved us. So that was awesome because that was important. We wanted to put on a great show. He hadn't seen us play yet.
For sure.
If we sucked, I mean, he'd be like, cool. I mean, that's what he's got to do, right? He's got to throw darts against the wall and hope that some of them are awesome acts that he can ride all summer. Mm-hmm. So I think we earned our stripes. He was pretty stoked about the versatility of us. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, 100%.
Which is cool because we haven't really actually even normally we would have by now hashed all this out. Like we always kind of have a powwow.
Oh yeah, exactly.
We haven't even had a chance. So I thought that was kind of cool that he was pretty stoked that we have the versatility that we can do corporate shows. That was a big selling thing for him. Is he's like, I can book you guys corporate shows and get you to do corporate shows and then do like mainstream pubs and stuff on the weekend. But then
that's what he was saying, right? It's like
your trip.
The next time that like you guys come down, it's going to be worth your while even more because it'll be like a back-to-back 2 shows or whatever in a row. So then that way it's like, you're not just coming here for one show, which we had no problem doing. And we obviously talked about it on the podcast last Sunday, last Monday, whatever it was. Last podcast about, how we were planning on playing in Vancouver. That fell through last minute and whatnot. So, that was originally the plan, but it's nice, that he's got that mentality too. He's like, cool, I can book you guys 2 shows and not worry about you guys at all.
Exactly. Right? And like, even as it was, it takes a few days for them. It's so official. Like, I'm so blown away by how he handles it and how like the professionalism and how they actually do the payouts and all that stuff. Like, everything's so transparent. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think we've mentioned it even on here before, but we've played a venue in the last 6 months. That's all we'll say. We'll be vague about it, but we've played a venue even where we got hidden fees thrown at us at the last minute that cost us hundreds of dollars off of our pay that we didn't know.
That. And then I'm also thinking like, even like gigs that, we're signing a contract to and whatever else. And then, that gig falls through or whatever else. And it's like, well, then what's the point of the contract?
Yeah, no, you're right. Actually, right? Yeah, I know the one you're talking about too. So there's 2 but there's 2 that really kind of rubbed us the wrong way, to be honest. I mean, if we're being candid with our whatever amount of listeners that are supporters of us, we can be candid. This is the point of this podcast.
Absolutely.
We won't mention names because we made that our motto, right? The Ed Sheeran philosophy. And I think we'll stick to that. We could be the biggest band in the world. Well, I think we'll still stick to that because I think it's classy. Mm-hmm. People can paint the dots if they want, whatever. But you're right. That's 2 that we've played where we were huge supporters and promoters of even the location. But one of which, just shoots us with a bunch of like hidden fees that weren't discussed beforehand. And it's like, as we try to explain it, and it's like, no, they just
But that's the thing. It's like, it's not like it was in the fine print or anything like that. So it's like, that's just pretty slimy.
It's so slimy.
So,
and that's fine. It's like, hey, what are you guys going to do? Then don't play with here. I'm like, okay.
Oh yeah, exactly.
We won't. But then, and the other one though, it's like, if you even have it in a clause saying if government things make it so you can't play a show, get it made up, but it's like we haven't had our makeup yet. It's like, what?
Yeah.
So I mean, but at the end of the day, you remember that stuff. You don't forget that stuff.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah. And you live and you learn.
You live and you learn.
Right.
And,
so
that's what it is.
It just goes back to, how awesome. Hats off to Live Act Canada. They did such a great job. Super professional from the first day that I actually messaged the guy way back in the fall and whatnot, and then followed up after restrictions started lifting again. And he's like, you know what? I think that this is the time for you guys to play. Mm-hmm. Right. So from start to, I'm not going to say finish because we're not done.
Oh, right? No, he was stoked. He was pretty.
I mean, you were
stoked.
talking to him even today.
This afternoon. Yeah. He sent me actually the coolest little voicemail.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to play what his little guy said.
Absolutely.
I think it's super, super cool. And he just sent me this randomly today. Cause so basically, long story short, as we were chatting after, I got him a few CDs and I'm like, here, one for you, obviously, as a thanks. And here's a few for you to have. And then, as always, though, we wanted to get him some merch too, or something, right? Like I just, and honestly, it's a small thing from us out of our pocket, but I like to do that, especially at new venues we haven't played before. It's just like a thank you. We have a bunch of merch, and at the very end of the day, again, we're not like we have everything all figured out, but we do still like to, beyond just telling our stories and chatting and stuff and getting people to know us, we want to give little tips and stuff for other indie artists too. So I found it's been very effective having people have some Loops merch. Mm-hmm. We've been pretty generous with giving away a lot of our merch and stuff as well as selling it. But I honestly never think that's a bad thing because people are walking. It's like a billboard. They're walking around wearing your stuff. Right?
Absolutely.
And especially if it's a venue or someone or a promoter.
100%, right? And then you go back and then you've got that like piece of merch or something like that. And it's like, where's this? Oh, right. It was that band, right? I'm going to recognize those guys more than like somebody else who's come through probably the week before or something like that. That just didn't stand out as much.
Exactly.
But it's like, cool. At least I've got this to remember them by or whatever.
100%.
Which, by the way, if you're a venue, maybe if you book us or something like that, a show, maybe we'll give you some free merch.
There's the selling point.
Exactly, right?
Doesn't matter if we're good or not. We got merch,
I'm
man.
just saying.
We got merch.
It's just another selling point.
So anyway, so I had asked him, I brought him to the table and I'm like, honestly, whatever, if you want something, man, like we'd love to give it to you as a thank you, you know, just for the opportunity. And we believe you that, you know, you're going to get us a bunch more stuff and we appreciate that. And he was like, I was like, do you wear ball caps? And he's like, no, not really, to be honest. And he's like, but my little son does. And I was like, here, man, give it to your son. He's like, no, you guys don't have to do that. And I mean, we sell the hats for like $25, right? So
they're, I think, our hottest item.
Oh, man.
I know that Alina's listening right now, and somewhere she's like, "Of course they're the hottest item, guys. Stop giving them away."
Yeah, she's like, "No, shit,
stop giving them away."
She's like, you know, it would be the hottest album, John. Golf stuff if we put logos on them, but you refuse to listen.
I didn't say that I refused it. I said maybe not right now.
Yes. Alina wants
While we're in golf season and everybody's looking for the newest.
Maybe we'll wait till December.
Exactly. Christmas present. I don't know.
So anyway, so Kevin was like, wait, hold on. Christmas present for you or for people?
No, you just said in December.
Oh, I thought you meant like a Christmas present for me and Alina. Would be like, I'm going to let you guys finally do it. And you guys can get it for me as a Christmas present.
There you go.
A bunch of loops.
Yeah, exactly. And also you guys are going to spend the $500 to get them all done.
Exactly. That's why I was like, wait, hold on. Well, who the hell? Why is this a Christmas present for you when we were fighting you to get it for the team?
By the way, guys, send us a message if you legitimately would be interested in getting some kind of golf loops merch.
Yeah, we're thinking like 3 balls and like a few tees or something.
Or something like that. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. We could even do golf shirts if there's enough people who are interested.
Dude, I love my golf shirts.
I know you do.
With the Loops logo on them. I wear them all the time when we play.
Yeah. So if anybody's legitimately interested, send us a message.
Yeah, DIB.
Also, DIB at officialloops.com or whatever.
Yeah, or socials. Put it on this. I always put up a post about our most recent app. So we didn't even actually cheers, by the way. So we're not drinking Jaeger because in his new place, disgustingly, he does not have a bottle of Jaeger iced.
No, I don't have Jaeger on ice, just ready to go. But at a moment's notice.
But he has our second.
As I've been living here for like a week.
Yes, that's true. But he does have our second favorite band alcoholic beverage to consume, which is Stella's.
Stella.
So this episode is not brought to you by Jaeger. It's actually brought to you by Stella Artois.
You're still going to tag Jaeger, though.
I'm going to definitely tag Jaeger. 100%. I brought them up. I'm going to tag them. They're going to get tagged until we get a sponsorship. Jaeger, we love you.
Every single day.
I literally was saying today to my buddies, I'm like, man, like in that wrestling chat that I'm in with the boys.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know if I want to have any drinks for a little while. Like, I feel like I'm starting to get like an allergy to alcohol.
Allergy?
Yeah, dude. Because like that little dangly thing in my throat after this weekend, because I went and had some drinks after the show on Friday as well, by the way. And I got drunk and then I sobered up and whatever, right? But I
would hope you sobered up.
Well, yeah, at some point I'm still drunk. I got drunk and I haven't sobered up since.
It's been 3 days.
But yeah, I was like super like white boy wasted at the bar at first. I went and met up with a good friend of mine that lives down in Vancouver, and Vanessa works at like VIP at this one place, Cabana. Yeah. So she invited me to come over, and I went and hung out there for a bit and had some drinks, and yeah, it was just sloshed. And I don't know if it was just the not drinking Jaeger, but drinking other alcohol. Because she would give me, every time someone else would come up and get a shot, she would give me like a shot as well.
Wait, is she like the bartender there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. So she's already behind the counter or like whatever. So she's pouring all the drinks.
And and she's like, she's a friend.
Put it on their tab kind of thing.
And she's just a friend that like I've known since she used to date my buddy.
Not just like walking up to the bar and just like, don't worry, somebody else is going to pay for this later.
I get in like 30 fights that night.
Yeah, exactly.
Constantly fighting people. Don't worry.
I know
about
you.
It. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry. Somebody else is going to pay for this.
No. No, but she works there. So I just stopped by and yeah, like she lives with her boyfriend, Cam. I think he even works there as well too or whatever. But so I just was stopping literally to go see a friend, but I'm like, fuck it. I usually have tons of energy after a show, which I did that night too. Yeah. So I wanted to burn it off, right? And go have a couple drinks. So because I was getting all these random shots, every time someone would get a shot, she would pour one for me as well of that type of shot. Eventually I was like, oh, like this is hitting me hard.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, I gotta go. I was like, it wasn't even late. I think it was like midnight or something.
That was not late. Like I left at like 11.
Okay, so maybe it was 1. It felt like it was a couple hours after, but it wasn't nearly closing time. Like it wasn't closing time yet.
Yeah. Well, it's also Vancouver, right?
Exactly.
So like it could be 2:00 in the morning, but they're still an hour away from closing.
100%, dude. 100%. Right? Yeah, because even if they do last call at like 2:30, like they're not kicking people out right away.
Yeah.
But the last couple, maybe half hour, I was like just getting bottles of water. And I'm like,
oh yeah.
All right, Nasty, it was great to see you. Yeah. I'm heading back to my hotel. Yeah. And I literally walked because it was just downtown and my hotel was kind of near the strip on Pender. So I just walked to the Days Inn, got back, and it was KO'd. But ever since then, that little dangly thing in my throat, the phalange or whatever it's called, or phallula, or it says some weird name. Uvula.
That's the one.
Not a phalange or a phallula. I don't know. I think those are both fake names.
Those definitely are both fake names.
Cool. Yeah. But the uvula, it is called a uvula, and the dangly thing was kind of swollen. Oh. And it felt swollen when we played our show. But
oh man.
Yeah. But I had a bunch of fisherman friends. I took some cough syrup, and then I didn't really drink any Jaeger. I just drank a ton of water, and then it was fine. But it's still like a little raw at the top of my mouth. So I think I might have even got like alcohol burn or something. I don't know.
Crazy, man.
So I'm just like, no more alcohol for me.
Right.
And the whole point of this story is our buddy Jake Baggio was like, just have a couple drinks of Jaeger and it'll fix everything. I'm like, it will.
It will.
God bless you.
You made it through the show on Saturday.
All I'm ever going to drink now is just, I wasn't even hungover anymore by Saturday night. I was fine.
No, exactly.
So
it was more just tired, right?
I was just burnt out of like the 4 days of just nonstop go, right?
But plus like a 4-hour drive each way pretty much, right?
Absolutely. Right. And I was doing it by myself, which you did all the driving too. Which I don't know.
But we were like listening to podcasts. We were chatting. But right? It's different when there's somebody else in the car.
You're doing it with your girlfriend in the car. Keeps you distracted.
Exactly.
Like, I told you, right? I was just before the summit.
Oh yeah.
You know that point where you kind of go through that like bridge? It's got like the bears and stuff on it.
The bear cove or whatever.
Yeah, whatever it is. Yeah, it's got those bears. Right before that is there's a couple like chain up spots.
Yeah. There's actually a super big one before like going up the hill.
Yes, a massive one. So I didn't stop at the massive one. I stopped at the one before that. It was a smaller one.
Yeah.
Because I was like, whoa, I was like having trouble keeping my eyes open. I was like getting tired. And I'm like, but just because podcasts are great and I'm really good at driving when I'm tired or driving long distances, but I needed someone to engage my brain or something.
Right. Yeah.
So I was like, man, maybe I'll have a nap. And then I like pulled the seat back, set the alarm for an hour later because we still had to play our show that night.
Oh yeah, exactly.
2:00 at this point.
Yeah.
So, and I left earlier than you guys. I left at like 12 or something. But I'm like, I'll set my alarm for like 3 and then just give myself an hour just to push me through this last little bit.
Yeah.
But then I couldn't sleep, probably just because I had adrenaline for driving.
Yeah.
So I'm like, so I got up, walked around for 5-10 minutes. Then I was like,
the fresh air at least helps.
Got some fresh air, but then I heard like some trees breaking, and I was like, "Oh God, a bear!"
Oh my God, I gotta get out of here.
I know it was when I was taking a piss too, and I almost pissed on my leg. I'm like, dude, man, can I do anything normally? Like, I don't think I can. I'm like a cartoon character. Like, what's going on?
So this is why I don't drink anything but Jaeger.
Bear. So I like ran back to the car. And then,
ran back
I did. I ran.
It's so funny.
I was like, bear.
Oh my God.
I mean, I'm sure it probably was like a happy little squirrel or something, but I was like,
breaking a tree or something.
I just heard like a little snap. Bear.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Hey man, I'm alive to tell the story. So if I just stupidly stood there, just peeing still, and that bear just like ripped me to shreds, this would be a pretty tragic podcast you'd be giving right now. Filling everyone in.
Well, I wouldn't know that story.
Yeah, I guess you wouldn't know why. They'd be like,
wouldn't know why. It's like, why was he on the side of the road in the first place?
Like, we don't know. He stopped and he got mauled to death.
Well, I would have been like nature calls.
He probably had to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, exactly.
And then got mauled by a bear.
And then it would actually just be exactly like this, where it's like, yes, it's sad, but it's also hilarious.
You're telling the story laughing.
Yeah, exactly. I can't get through this with a straight face, guys.
This is how Kevin would have wanted this. Everyone's like, why are you doing a podcast 2 days after your best friend died? It was killed by a bear. So I and then I drove the rest of the way and I was good to go. So
Saturday was a good show though.
Saturday was super good. It was super fun. Circling back, I said I was going to play what the little guy said.
Oh yeah,
which was super cool. So I got this message from Kevin from Live Acts Today, which just drives home the importance of building good relationships with people, because this is someone that holds a lot of our fate in the Lower Mainland in our hands.
Absolutely.
I mean, we're grinders, and we've gotten ourselves getting our name out there in our region. But it definitely, when you're out of your, like, we don't live in Vancouver, we don't have those contacts,
and that's why we want to play and have been working super hard to play outside of Kamloops.
Absolutely.
Right? And not even just Kamloops, but the area, right?
Build
Vernon,
a brand. Yeah.
Kelowna even is like pretty good for the most part, like just to get outside and build our following down there as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's definitely, super helpful when we're playing down in Vancouver and when we're playing, like east of here.
Well, he has the contacts, right? He knows what he's doing down there, and what he can do, it will take 100 times the amount of effort for us to get the same kind of places and locations, especially down there. Here, I mean,
and he's
Kevin and John can contact places here and get gigs. Well, down there, they expect someone like that to contact.
He's a booking agent.
That's 100% what he is.
That's the thing, right? So
that's his job, and a lot of them won't deal with someone unless you're a booking agent.
Mm-hmm.
So I got this really cool message today, which I will share with our listeners.
Hey, my son wanted to thank you for that hat. I ended up giving it to him, and he's only 4, but he loves it.
I'm 4.
Oh man, the ending just kills
so
me.
Awesome.
It's so adorable. I'm 4.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we chatted
like, that's
back.
the only part that I remember.
Oh yeah, he's like 4. But I guess they recorded that earlier, and then he's working from home, and making calls and do whatever. And I guess the little man ran into his room. I was like,
"Oh right, yeah,
Dad, let's we gotta send it. Can you send it? Can you send it to Luke?"
Oh yeah,
and yeah. So
nice.
That's so cool, man. That made my day.
Yeah,
and yeah. The evil genius in me is also happy that little guy's going to be a walking billboard reminding his dad all the time. Hey,
exactly.
Have you booked loops recently, Dad? Because
I want to see him.
Yeah, exactly. Dad, we need more loops. More loops. I'm 4, but smart. We need the hoo-hoos.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. So that was probably the highlight of my weekend. Actually, was getting that message today.
Nice. So. That's awesome. Well, today is Monday, so it's no longer the weekend.
Yeah, but it was to do with the weekend.
To do with the weekend.
It was it's a weekend highlight that only paid dividends today.
Yeah, exactly.
Is today Monday? It's Monday night, isn't it?
Of course it is.
Cool.
Yeah. It's Easter weekend though, so we can blame it on that.
Hopefully everyone had like a good Easter weekend, and
yeah.
I ordered myself a bounty of pizza and wings last night. Yeah, I was like,
I thought that you said like right now.
No,
it's like I gotta get back in like 45 minutes, John.
On its way.
Yeah, exactly.
To my house, not here. I didn't order it to your place.
It's a scheduled delivery.
5:30.
Yeah,
gotta go. I did that. I should have actually. I was gonna make like some Easter food, but I'm like, I can't make it all just for myself, and
right.
I suck at that stuff anyway.
See, I don't even know what Easter food is though.
I think it's like ham and like mashed potatoes, which I'd make awesome mashed potatoes. The ham I could have made, but if I had Seb, I would have done it. But I don't get it until tomorrow night. So
yeah, Alina and I were like, we've got leftovers in the fridge, but we actually went out and got like a couple pieces of duck.
What?
Yeah. We had
Tell
duck with like mashed potatoes. It was awesome.
What?
It was sweet. And like asparagus. Yeah. It was.
Where'd you get the duck from?
That's the entire story. What do you talk about?
Like at the river, like down at Riverside Park, you had killed a couple ducks. You go to a nice walk.
It's Easter. All the families.
Look at that one. It looks weak and like
no.
pathetic.
You go to the either to your butcher or you go to Save On Foods because it's cheap and
Save On Foods has duck.
Yeah.
A l'orange.
No.
Do you know what that is?
Isn't that just orange duck?
Oh, I don't know. Isn't l'orange? Isn't orange like an orange sauce you put on duck or something?
I think so.
I think that's what rich people eat.
I don't know.
Duck
you made it sound like it was for rich people. We had duck
Sounds
with like a
deal.
cherry sauce.
Damn. So you had duck.
Yeah, we had duck. I know it sounds
duck.
super.
Was it pecan duck?
No, it's just
mallard. Was it
duck.
a mallard?
I don't know, man. It was the Save On duck.
The Save On duck. God.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh no.
That's it. It was awesome. It was an awesome Easter dinner after a super long 4 days.
This is last night.
Yeah. Easter.
Duck. That's so funny. What do you eat as a side with duck?
Mashed potatoes and asparagus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Do you have leftover duck?
No.
You guys polish that duck off.
We did.
Yeah, you're like, this is going down.
Well, because they sell it as like duck breasts, or you can get like a duck leg or something like that.
Nice.
And it's like $14 for like one of them.
Really?
So I'm like, it's not worth it most of the time.
Duck's expensive, man.
Exactly, right? It's got to be like a special occasion. And it's like, well, what are we going to do? Order like takeout for like $50 or spend $15 on like a duck each?
So I've always wondered.
God.
No, seriously, like, so people hunt, right?
Yeah.
Homeless people break the law sometimes by parking. Like a lot of homeless people I met when I was a cop are like good people. I don't. You probably know where we're going with
I
this.
don't know where you're going, and that's the problem.
So like when being a cop for 10 years, I'm allowed to speak on this from experience, so it's okay. And a lot of times, like homeless people would like, a lot of them are good people and they're just in unfortunate situations. And a lot of them sometimes are jerks. And they'll have their homeless camps in the middle of like the park where they're not supposed to be, or they'll be in places they're not supposed to. Mm-hmm. So I'm not saying in general the homeless population, but that being said, I wonder how many like, if homeless people that are like the rule breakers, the ones that don't care and like are bad, I wonder if they ever like kill ducks and eat duck for like dinner.
I don't think
it feels
so,
like it's just like that's like a bounty of food, man. Like sometimes there's so many ducks down at the park.
I understand where the thought process comes from, but I also think that there is a decent amount of like food banks and homeless shelters that do a decent job at like soup kitchens.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
Keeping them fed.
I'm not saying that they all do like a great job, because I know that a lot of them are struggling, and there's a lot of great people out there who get out and volunteer like on their weekends or whatever else. Right. But I know that staffing is just such a tough part for a lot of those places. Right. So I don't think so. I don't think that, you know, that they go out and kill a duck or a goose.
I don't know about goose. Like, why would they kill a goose? Unless maybe they use the goose for like a pillow, like they're like
pluck all the feathers.
The feathers, right?
No.
Well, I don't know, man. If duck is delicious and it's like this extravagant thing and it's just walking around, like there's probably other countries where they don't have duck.
Well,
and they're like,
different.
man, you guys have delicious duck just walking around in your parks. Like, woo, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Right?
I guess so. I guess so. It's not the same duck though, right?
I don't know.
It's like if you like saw like a wild turkey, right? Like you wouldn't. That's the thing. You wouldn't eat the wild turkey.
I don't know, dude. If I was homeless,
you would eat the wild turkey.
I don't know. Hey, it'd be better than like going and eating like some gross soup at a soup kitchen. Probably.
What? How are you gonna cook it?
Over a fire that I made with my bare hands. Obviously, this is a hypothetical scenario.
All right, we are going
I'm a
off
wild
the
man,
rails here.
I'm a wild man living off the elements.
Such a weird
dude.
podcast this week.
It's good. I like it. This is awesome. This is a weird scenario where I'm living like Mad Max style, like
apparently
in the middle of normal population.
I know exactly.
Kevin lost it. Actually, you can see this cool like right across from your house is like this little island. I also always wondered for anyone that lives in Kamloops, you guys will get this. There's like this island in between the North and South Shore.
Yeah.
I never understood why homeless people don't just live. Why isn't that like homeless island?
What is your deal with the homeless population this week?
Homeless, man, not homie-less.
I know, but they're all homies.
They are homies. Yeah. They're your homies. You're defending them.
Well, I
have no issues with the homeless population. I just think that would be wicked. They could just have the run of the land.
I think that also it's normally flooded over. Right by the water levels.
Nah, it's not that much.
Yes, if you look at the docks there, right, like not even the end of the docks are going into the water here.
I know, dude, but trust me, I put a lot of thought into this over 10 years of driving past that thing all the time, and I'm like, I had a couple conversations with homeless people about it. Even I'm like, you guys ever thought about like setting up your camps just on that like island? Because like no one would ever bug you over there. And they're like, yeah, but then how do you get back and forth from the island? We like to hang out with our friends. And I was like,
oh, so you already knew the answer.
I would go on the island. It'd be like, I'd be the king of that place, man. It'd be wicked. No bylaws would be coming by. The bylaws aren't going to get into like a canoe and like canoe across to get to your island to give you a hard time. It'd be perfect.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that ends our weekly homeless segment.
What a weird week in review it was this week. Oh man.
Hey man, this is live streaming unconsciousness of Loops. So
it's true. Yeah.
It's all good.
We knew it was going to be weird.
Exactly. So moving on. What do you want to hit? You want to hit our top five?
Yeah, let's talk about our top five. Did you come up with a list for yours?
Yes, I have a vague list.
I like it.
You do yours first, though.
Yeah?
Yeah, because it's your topic. I think the person who comes up with the topic should have to do their list first.
Sure, absolutely. I think that you will agree with some of them, and I think that you might want to punch me for some of them.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Man.
So this week, for our top fives, we're going to be doing overrated bands, which I find fascinating because originally I thought underrated bands, but you know, the more that I thought about it, I'm like, there are so many bands. And obviously that's the point of the top five. You got to narrow it down to only five.
Well, and how do you like,
but how do you categorize it? I'm like, yeah, we're an underrated band.
That, well, no, you're right.
How do you like compare us to like another BC musician to you know, the Beatles or something like that, right? But no, obviously they're not underrated, but
I know what you mean. I truly know what you mean. And yeah, I agreed. As soon as you said the idea, I was like, no, that's easily the way better way to go.
Yeah.
It just narrows the scope more because you're right. Underrated, it could be so vague, the definition even.
Absolutely.
It's like, so is someone underrated because they're not number one on the charts, but they're number 6 on the charts?
Yeah.
Like
they only have 50 million listeners per month,
but they never won a Grammy yet. Are they under, like, there's so many, right? You can be like, hey, are the Foo Fighters underrated because they've had this legendary long career, but they never get mentioned in the all-time great bands? Like, you could go so many directions, man.
100%. So I think that this one's just a little bit easier where we can say overrated bands, because this also ties in a lot of different things. I tried to narrow this down as much as possible, so I'm not just picking a whole bunch of people from like 2010s and onward. Yeah. Because even then there's so many different bands that kind of like fall in different categories there. Like when you think about overrated bands, it's like, yeah, but maybe that was just their strategy all along. Like if Justin Bieber is an overrated musician and you don't think that if stuff is that good, that's like you're saying, you know, from your own point of view that, you know, his music isn't good or whatever. But it's also saying that, you know, like Justin Bieber came from a different, you know, way into it. He came through, or like somebody like the TikTok guy, the country guy. Why am I blanking on his name?
I don't know. The TikTok country guy?
Take me down.
Oh my God. Old Town Road, Little Nas X.
Yeah, there we go.
Cool.
Can't believe I blanked on that.
He's actually on my list. So,
but that one, I think, right? Like,
that's so funny.
That one's kind of like a different like way, but that was his gimmick of getting successful.
I know.
Right? So can you say that he's overrated? Is the way that I look at it.
I know. Now you might be talking me out of it because so actually, well, this is the point of the top 5. Who cares?
Of course,
the lists are silly as it is. Anyways, they mean nothing.
Absolutely.
They're always in never any particular order. You guys 100%. Know the drill by now. We don't have to explain it to you.
Yeah.
If you're listening to episode 13, I assume you've listened to other ones.
Exactly.
But yeah, no, you're actually kind of now talking me almost out of Little Nas X because he was on my list only because I feel that he's more famous for really leaning into his sexuality. And hey, man, good for you. Like, to be a black man and gay as it is already still harder to crack through than a white man that's gay.
Yeah.
Simple facts. But to do it in the rap industry, like he's breaking down barriers and credit to him.
Right.
So by that definition alone, just speaking more bluntly, I guess, even to your point you're making, right? That like, hey, this is the marketing way that you kind of got yourself to that level. Is he overrated? I don't think his music outside Old Town Road is good. That's my problem.
Right.
But I mean, I don't know, like some of Lady Gaga's stuff isn't necessarily that great either.
No, exactly. Right.
It's not true to herself, especially. Like, she's a phenomenal artist, but some of her actual commercial stuff is pretty shitty. But she's super famous. Is she overrated? I don't know.
It's a tough one to categorize.
Interesting. Okay,
which,
cool.
Which I just find very interesting because there's so many different ways that you can look at it. So the whole point is my list here. We're going to start with, you know, like you just said, no particular order. For most of them.
Okay. Do you have a number one?
I think I got a number one, but I won't. I am not going to say who it is though.
Cool.
I'll see if you can guess who it is.
Okay, cool.
Maybe you can tell just by like how enthusiastically I talk about this person and or band.
I hate my number one, so and hate's a strong word.
All right. Cool. So, first up on my list, I think that the band Kiss is a very overrated band. And actually, I find it hilarious because I looked up like generic lists and whatnot, and every single one had Kiss on. They're like overrated band. There were a couple that like crossed over onto other lists as well. Like Nirvana. Nirvana was one of those overrated bands, which I can kind of see.
Yeah, I don't believe that one. I don't buy that.
You know, but
I think they literally changed music. Like they literally changed the genre of music. Became like grunge became a thing because of Nirvana.
Well, it was also Kurt Cobain was just like, I'm just gonna do what I want to do, and if you're gonna like it, you're gonna like it, and if you don't, I don't care.
But we're coming off the 80s when everything was so extravagant and substance and colorful and bright and like, and everyone cared what everyone else thought. That like for him to do that, it was so polarizing and different.
Yeah.
I could never endorse like a Nirvana being overrated because of what they did. They change anytime anyone changes music, good or bad, like it's something big.
It's kind of the same,
which is why I can't say Lil Nas X now that you're making that point.
Well, it's the same idea as, you know, like the Beatles. The Beatles is always, not always, obviously, but you know, there are a lot of people out there who also say that the Beatles are overrated, and they get a lot of credit for doing a lot of awesome stuff. And it's well deserved is the thing.
Yes, like, Glenn Howerton from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
I think that everybody who's you know, talking about this kind of stuff, like obviously knows somewhat. I don't think that there's a lot of people who will jump on a bandwagon as heavily as they do, where it's just like, yeah, the Beatles are overrated, unless they just don't understand. I think big.
Yeah, well said.
You know,
I think it's just it's ignorance at that point.
Yeah, right? Where it's just like I'm jumping.
Just by the true definition of the word ignorance, like nothing personal against you. It's just you literally are just a lack of education. That's what ignorance is. So it's like they just don't know. They just hear about the Beatles 50 years, 60 years after they're famous.
Yeah.
And they hear everyone talking about how the Beatles are the best band ever.
About the Beatles?
Exactly.
I don't care about the Beatles documentary. It's like, why not?
Yeah. And it's like, you know what, though? The fact that we are talking about them should speak to the reason why they're as influential as they are. We're talking about them 60 years later for a reason. Yeah. It's not just because we needed to have one band to talk about from each decade. Like,
of course.
It's like, no, they are the bar. Like they made everything happen.
They set the bar. So that being said, I mean, I was talking about Kiss.
Yeah, so Kiss.
So I find Kiss very overrated. I think that, you know, they definitely have their gimmick and everybody gets successful for their own reasons. You know, I think that not a lot of their music ended up speaking just for very long. Like, obviously they have number of hits, but like even in one of the articles that I was reading, it's just like, what's their biggest hit? I forget it right now.
I was made for loving you.
Oh yeah, well that's one of them.
That one?
No, but not that one.
Detroit Rock City?
Maybe.
Yeah. You
need to sing the words, dude.
Detroit Rock City.
No, that's not it.
Get on.
Oh, it's I wanna rock and roll.
Yeah, that's the other one. Those are probably the three big ones.
So like that one, it's just like, yeah, they are singing that just to make you want to sing along or whatever it is.
Oh, they're anthem rock, 100%, which they stole from Queen because Queen made anthem rock before anthem rock existed.
Yeah,
like boom, boom, tsh, boom, boom, tsh, so everybody would do what I just did.
Oh yeah, exactly. Table. And so you can do that without an instrument.
We Will Rock You doesn't work when you're playing in just a tiny little hall, or like it works so you could be 50,000 people in Wembley Arena 100%. Can all stomp their feet and clap their hands. Like
exactly.
Queen invented that shit, and Kiss just took it to another level and put a whole bunch of makeup on. They were very gimmicky, very gimmicky.
They were very gimmicky. Yeah.
So I find that hilarious because my ex, Seb's mom, her family like loved Kiss.
Oh yeah,
and it used to drive me mental. Like they were just like trying to indoctrinate like Seb's older sister Ryan. It's not mine, but Courtney's her first daughter. And she was like 3-4 years old, and like the Kiss are the best. And they were trying to get Seb in on it. I'm like, Kiss are bad. Don't listen to what anyone says.
Yeah, exactly.
If you like Kiss,
only know one thing.
If you like Kiss, Santa will not give you presents at Christmas time. Little kids that like Kiss do not get, they get coal in their stockings.
Yeah. It's so funny.
No, but yeah, I would just be like, cause like her brother, Kyle, is like so obsessed about Kiss that he like, so this is really funny to me that they're the first ones you mentioned. We've never talked about this ever in like, over 3 years of friendship. We've never discussed this once.
Absolutely.
But, so Kyle would like, he dresses up like the Kiss guys and like goes on, he follows them on tour. So like now he's like a counselor I'm not even gonna say where to out him, but now he's a counselor in a town in BC. But a city councilor. He's like young too. He's like 30 or something, 28 or something, but he's the youngest counselor in this town. But before he would go to like, I remember one year when I was with Courtney still in the early 2010s, he went to like Japan with a friend for like 2 months to like do all the Kiss concerts in Japan, and they dressed up in like the Kiss makeup and everything, dude. It's insane.
Yeah.
So those Kiss fans made me hate Kiss.
Right.
Not the family in general, like Seb's other side of his family, but the actual fans that are crazy like that, man. Like they're like, we love Kiss.
Yeah.
And me, I'm just like, overrated for sure. Overrated to me.
I think so. Yeah. And like I said, like at the start, right? It's just like, I understand how people can become successful from that. And, you know, you use other avenues and lanes to become successful. Obviously, that's such a big thing nowadays. It's like, yes, you can have amazing music, but also you need more to speak for you. Is such a big part of it.
Absolutely.
And they really took advantage of that. So I think that, you know, they did a great job. They're super successful, but they are overrated in my books.
Yep.
So you mentioned them, and I'm going to rip the Band-Aid off. I think Queen's a little bit overrated. I know. This is the one that I thought you were going to punch me in the face for.
Wow.
So
I don't want to. I'm looking at this bottle though, and it's looking. You gotta get it empty first.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to make a mess.
So the reason why I say that they're overrated, I think that they absolutely transcended, you know, their era of music. Freddie Mercury, one of the best stage presences I think ever to have ever like graced the stage. Right. I think he's on your like. At least like top 2 or 3 like ever like singers / performers, if not number 1.
For mine?
For yours.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I think he's number 1.
Right? So, but I think as a band, as a group, Freddie Mercury was the heart of that group. As a band, I think that they are overall overrated.
Oh my God, my dad. See, it's not even me. My dad right now.
Oh, I know. Your dad's probably going to be like,
right now.
Kevin,
John, I don't like you anymore.
I got a plan for you, son.
We're going to get you out of loop.
Yeah, exactly.
John's a bad
You're
influence.
moving back. I'm like, moving back into my house.
I'm a grown man. Exactly. I'm not moving back to your house because we're bandmate.
You can bring your
overrated.
son.
You can bring my grandson. No, John.
I don't. Here's the thing is like my issue is I don't have a very solid argument for it, but I feel it not strongly. I feel it like, you know, when I was thinking about a whole bunch of different acts, I think that, you know, it's just,
hey man, it's your list, dude.
It's my list.
You don't have to apologize.
It's my list, and I'm trying to like overcompensate. I
know
here.
It's okay. Right? You don't have to. It's all good.
Yeah.
It's my dad more you got to worry about, not me, man. My dad's going to be pissed.
Oh, I know.
No, what he's going to do is he's a good man, but like he is stubborn. He's a stubborn dude. And he is going to now just like spam you probably with like information about Queen. So you know why they're not overrated.
Well, and that's the thing too.
I guarantee you he will.
I love learning stuff.
Yeah, you
right?
do.
Though, I love going in with an open mind too. Right.
Yeah,
and let me know if I'm wrong, you know, like obviously this is a very opinion based list. Right. Yeah. As most of our lists are, right? Like we don't have any that's like, you know, what are the top 5 of something, right? Yeah. Because that's not fun, right?
No, exactly. We're trying to do
these are supposed to be unique.
Exactly.
Right.
Well, and generate conversation between us. And at the end of the day, hopefully our listeners, I mean, if you're listening, guys, like you're in your car, I know we've gotten really good feedback over the last few weeks, especially when we took that couple week break, just as life was kind of making us both sick and you had to move.
Yeah.
I heard from multiple people that were like, man, like I listened to you guys my first couple of days of the week on my way to and from work. Like it helps get me through the traffic and stuff.
I look forward to it.
We appreciate that for everyone that's listening.
Absolutely.
I want to really like encourage you guys to like, give us more feedback, even just on like the emails to DIB.
Absolutely.
Or even just honestly to our Instagram and stuff. And we'll start kind of reading them out.
Sending us a message.
We'll just read them out in like episodes as well, like listener feedback, right?
100%.
Because we're starting to get that feedback where people are like, yeah, I thought this, or this is what I thought about your list. Or
yeah.
So I mean, yeah, you're right though. To your point, like that's the whole point of the top 5s. It's just,
of course it's
just fun combos, right?
Exactly. Yeah. All right. So next up on my list is
Ed Sheeran.
What? God, no.
Flip the table over.
It's actually a modern artist though.
Okay.
Along that same line. And that is the lovely Adele.
Wow, my dad's going to lose his mind.
Really?
He loves Adele.
Oh, man.
He loves her.
Oh, man.
In his brain, for some reason, he thinks if Kathy was like, if he was 20 years younger or Adele was 20 years older, they would be soulmates. I'm like,
oh, yeah.
No, dude.
I think that's something that like also like was really just like grinded into me kind of as a young boy. No, it was like when I was like 15 or 16 or like whatever. But my mom like really didn't like her singing style because she's a vocal coach, right?
Yeah.
So she, you know, knows the proper ways of singing and all that kind of other stuff. And she's like, the way that she's singing, she's gonna ruin her vocal cords. And literally not even a few months later, she had vocal surgery.
Oh my God. Now I'm worried about what your mom thinks about my singing.
What are you talking about?
I'm just now about this.
Dude, I'm up front with you.
All right.
So that's what, you know, like it's one of the parts. Another one is so much of her stuff is repetitive. To me, a lot of it sounds very similar to other songs that she's already brought out.
Yes.
One of like her songs, I think it's called Easy on Me, that came out last summer, I believe.
I wanted us to do that as a cover.
I hate that song so much.
Go easy on me, baby.
I hate it. I don't like it. But I mean, that's me. That's me, and that's how I feel.
Go easy.
Everybody's going to tune out of this podcast.
No way. They're going to love
next
it.
up.
We're going to get so much feedback about the homeless ideas.
Next up on my list is actually kind of like an interesting one because I think that he's pretty cool. But I think that Bob Dylan is an overrated musician.
Wow. You're just lighting the music industry on fire.
But Bob Dylan, I think that he's overrated in that kind of like folk scene is the thing.
Okay.
I think that in other... Like, I think that when you're talking to somebody kind of like along the same lines as us, you have that kind of respect of where, you know, he's come from and, you know, like what he did for the 60s and, you know, how he influenced the Beatles and all that kind of other stuff. Mm-hmm. Right. But I think that especially in the folk scene, they're like, if I don't sound like Bob Dylan or if I don't sound like Johnny Cash, you know, then I'm not doing my job right.
Yeah.
You know,
okay.
so it's all like right. That influence is so heavy that it's still relevant today.
Yes.
Which isn't a bad thing, right? If your influence is that heavy, right? If you're trying to be a Queen cover band or something like that, you can absolutely do that and be successful. It's harder to be like a Bob Dylan cover band. So now so many solo musicians who are just like, it's just me and my guitar and I'm going to play these Bob Dylan songs or something like that.
No, I actually know 100% what you mean.
Yeah.
That singer-songwriter, one dude with a guitar throws a ball, like not a ball cap, but like one of those kind of hats on. And it's like, you kind of are Bob Dylan as a Bob Dylan cover band without actually advertising yourself. Is that you just fall into that kind of that rut, into that lane.
Yeah.
It can stifle a lot of creativity.
It can. Absolutely it can.
Which is almost a credit to how overpowering his presence was.
Yeah.
Which would almost make him under or maybe probably.
I understand where you're coming from. I understand.
I'm not going to dispute your list at all. My list is
I've still got one more
choices on mine.
I've still got one more.
I'm ready for it. Is this the one that you want me to guess?
No.
Was that Queen?
No.
What was the one you wanted me to guess?
Adele.
Oh, I would have totally guessed it.
Adele. Yeah.
Dude, that's the funnest part of our list is the person guessing.
Well, you were guessing.
I wouldn't have guessed the other choices, believe me.
Yeah, exactly. No, last on my list here is U2, the band U2.
Wow.
Which I love U2.
Did you ever see the South Park episode where Randy Marsh?
So there's a homeless guy.
No, this is amazing. There's a South Park episode where Randy Marsh has the world's largest shit ever, and they're called a Keurig. They grade the size of the poop in like Keurigs for Katie Couric. And he has the world's largest shit, but then they find out that Bono actually held the record for the world's largest shit. And it actually turns out by the end of the episode, you find out that Bono actually was the world's largest piece of shit. So he was actually he actually is a living, breathing piece of shit. Like he was. Yeah.
I get it.
That's funny. Funny episode, actually. Yeah.
That's funny.
It's a good episode.
Look it up.
All my South Park fans out there.
There we go.
Oh, hot. Oh, hot.
U2 I find overrated because, you know, they're kind of along those same lines where it's like, you know, we sing anthem songs that we get everybody to sing along to, which is cool. And obviously super successful. And on a big market, it really, really works. I think that one of the driving factors into this like thing was when they downloaded their entire brand new album onto iTunes back in like 2013 or 2014 or whatever it was.
Dude, our joint favorite comedy pop star even made fun of that.
Of course.
Putting it into like
the dishwasher and the fridge and whatever.
I'm not
laundry
gay.
machine.
I'm not gay. He's like, I like that one. I like the freezer.
Exactly. I mean, I think that was just the selling point where it's like,
so dumb, dude. It's automatically on your iPhone. Like, get the hell out of here. And plus, iPhone. Let's not forget, like, iPhones, especially back then, they didn't have a ton of storage space. It's not like you can put an extra SD card. So now that's taking up extra space on your phone.
Right.
And it's just intrusive, man. People shouldn't be able to just put stuff on your phone.
Absolutely.
You two definitely whiffed on that one.
They definitely did. And I think that was, one of the driving factors into why I find them super overrated. But at the same time, they've been super successful for 20, 30 years, actually, 30 plus years.
Oh,
they were around in the 80s.
Oh, dude, almost 40, like early 80s. I've actually, to be honest, man, as I've gotten a little bit older, I've gotten a little bit more respect. I think it's actually just as I've developed and grown as a songwriter. I've gotten a lot of respect for their songs because they usually mean something.
They do.
They don't just sing
and that's
about
what I'm saying,
bullshit.
right?
Like Sunday Bloody Sunday is like about a revolution.
It is.
And like,
it absolutely
right?
is.
And like,
yeah,
IRA and stuff like that. Like they're singing about these kind of things that matter. Yeah. But that being said, and that riff to like Where the Streets Have No Name is like, of course, iconic, right?
Of course,
you can't go to a hockey game without hearing it at the warm up.
Yeah.
But that being said, I mean, they are spoken of as like they're like an all timer, and I'm not sure they are. Well, you take away a couple albums in the 80s where they really, I mean, they had that good one in the early 90s. I think there was a couple.
They did.
They've had a couple moments. But yeah, I'm with you, dude.
I think that it's just not quite the same, right? Is like, if you're going to put them into a conversation, I think that that's probably the driving factor for this list. I'm really saying driving factor a lot in this episode, I'm realizing.
It's a new drinking game. Go back and re-listen to the episode and how many times John says driving factor or Kevin mentions the homeless.
Yeah.
You have to take a drink. You're wasted.
Oh my God. No, but this list really comes from that kind of like idea where if they are in the conversation of being one of the greats, they should be in there without question.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Absolutely.
Right. So I could question every single one of these people on this list.
Well, just to clarify too, Dad, when you're listening to this,
Queen's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I'm pretty sure Kiss is as well.
100% Kiss are. Just so we're clear though, so we're very, very, unless I'm totally misinterpreting the point of this particular week's list, this isn't saying even that these bands aren't awesome. No. They could be fantastic. Exactly. They could be all-timers.
Well, and that's what I was trying to say, right?
Because I feel U2 is an all-time band.
I love Queen.
Yeah, they're an all-timer.
Awesome. Actually, the movie Bohemian Rhapsody, I'm pretty sure was in my top 5.
You put it in your top 5. I didn't even put it in my damn top 5. It was an honorable mention. You put it in your top 5. That's it just means that you think they're overrated compared to where they are viewed is probably a little higher than it should be.
Yeah.
That's all. Doesn't mean that.
That's just like where I see them on.
Doesn't mean where they should be isn't super high. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. If this was a scale out of like 1,000 or something like that, right?
And you know what? Only one of the choices is on my list. Can you guess which one? It should be pretty easy based on the conversation.
Well, yeah, we said Kiss.
Yeah. It's Kiss just because they just made me not like them. I was like, man, I already thought the only thing I liked about Kiss ever was they were in that movie Role Models, how they all dressed up like Kiss characters with the kids and their big brothers.
They've been in so many movies is the thing. As like cameos and stuff
Gene Simmons.
Like as themselves.
Yeah. So I'm just kind of like, I don't know, just too gimmicky. And like I said, my extended family, when I was with Seb's mom, kind of made me hate them. So like her brother literally had, still to this day, a room full of Kiss like figures and toys and everything. It's it just made me not like them.
Yeah.
They're all like, you're wrong. Kiss are amazing. I'm like, well, I know more about music than you guys. Like I've forgotten more than you guys know. So I'm pretty sure I have a good opinion on music, and Kiss aren't the greatest band of all time. They're like, they're the greatest ever.
Of all time. Yeah.
So I'm like, well, that makes them overrated to me.
Yeah.
Okay. Second choice.
Well, you said Little Nas X.
No, he's not though. You kind of talked me out of it.
Oh,
I changed him with another artist.
Gotcha.
At the last minute as we were talking. So he's not on there. So next is an artist from the 70s and 80s, rock and roll, heavy metal rock and roll, and eventually kind of was a solo star. And I think he's super overrated. I'm going to say the word super even. And I think he's a good musician. But I think if he didn't have the antics he had, and if he didn't have the reality show he had in the early 2000s, then we wouldn't be talking about him today anymore. Everyone would have forgotten about him. And that's Ozzy Osbourne.
Oh, okay.
I just think if he wasn't like, oh, Sharon, and like kind of twitching out all the time and just crazy old man, like I think people in his family, I think people just would have just kind of like, meh, we would have just kind of forgotten about Ozzy over time. I really think we would have. Yeah, he was like, there's some songs I like, man. Crazy Train, wicked song. Like I like, I'm not stereotyping the music or anything. I don't think he's all time one of the greats ever.
Right.
And that's kind of how he gets viewed.
Yep.
And I just don't think, I think he as a pop culture icon, he kind of transcended that, and credit to him. But I think as a musician, he's overrated because of that.
Gotcha. You know what? I don't disagree with that either.
Yeah.
You know, like I understand where you're coming from there.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
That's the thing, right? Like obviously I come from a different household where I'm not surrounded by heavy metal or, punk or whatever it is. Not even rap really that much, but that I only knew of one song and he's this big, right?
Yeah.
And that was Crazy Train, right?
Yeah.
So that's the only thing that I ever, even thought about.
Yeah. So to me,
for me, I didn't even think about it on my list.
That's the thing, right? But that's how much non-impact he has on you. That almost speaks to him ironically earning his way on. That's what I tried to think of that once you kind of got me thinking of it. I'm like, who are people that I don't think of that everybody else thinks of? So that to me, by definition, probably puts them as overrated in my mind.
Yeah.
And that's how I got the last person on my list that I replaced Lil Nas X with.
There we go.
Next one is also from the same type of music. About a decade later, they had a movie made about them called The Dirt. And I honestly think if Tommy Lee didn't have a massive hammer and have sex with Pamela Anderson and they weren't crazy on tour, I don't think people would give a shit about Motley Crue, and everyone loves them. And I just think they're overrated, man. I've never seen this. Like, here's the thing. I don't mind like a lot of those bands from that timeline, even like Van Halen had some big hits in the early 90s. So basically Motley Crue are kind of almost the poster child for like what do they call them? Like the hair metal is what they call it. Hair metal. Because they all had these big poofy hairspray styles. So you can, when you hear me say that, even you can visualize that type of band. Yeah. Motley Crue are kind of like, the flag bearers of that style. But I just think there was way better bands that were awesome at the same time. And Motley Crue were just crazy. Yeah. And I just don't think they're that great. I think Vince Neil kind of sucks. Like, I don't think he's that great. I don't think he's that great as a vocalist. I think he's overrated. Right. Honestly, like their Guns N' Roses were way better than them. And I'm not even a Guns N' Roses fan at all, but they were way, way better. Yeah. Right. Metallica were like that. And they eventually changed their image. They got out of the hair metal, but they were 1,000 times better. Like, there was just way, way better bands than Motley Crue. Right. I'm just not a fan. Some Motley Crue fans are going to be pissed. Of course. I think
that's what apparently this episode is.
This is the let's piss off the world episode.
Try and see how many people we can piss off.
This call this episode "We're gonna get canceled or famous." What's coming? Whatever comes first. Yeah. Whatever. But yeah, and here's the thing. Here's another defining perspective for me. If you're an overrated act. Do people walk around wearing your shirts and have no clue any of your fucking songs? Because that to me means that screams overrated. True. How many fucking girls walk around and they're super hot and they got these cool, sexy little shirts and pants and they're going to rock concerts and they're wearing a Motley Crue shirt and it's like, can you name like 3 songs by Motley Crue? Like, fuck off. Yeah, the shirt looks cool, but come on, like. And like, I'll wear artist shirts and stuff, but I wear like Johnny Cash shirt because I freaking think he was a pioneer and I love what he does.
What is your shirt?
Oh, this shirt's a wrestling shirt.
The Kevin
Owens show.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
It's from wrestling.
I just saw the word Kevin on it.
I'm also wearing track pants.
Kevin knows best.
Oh my God. I need to have a shirt like that.
Yeah, you do. I know.
Eyes up here as I wear my track pants. So anyways, so I think if someone's wearing a shirt of an artist, like if those kind of shirts, people wear Prince shirts and they don't know Prince songs, but like Motley Crue to me is a big one. It's like, you just like them because they're famous. Right. Why are they famous? They're not that great. So anyways, Motley Crue. Yeah. I'll say, okay, so the next one, I'll leave off with my most number one overrated and also at the same time despised music act ever. Oh, wow. Yeah, it's a 2-for-1er. This also, if we talk about who do you hate the most in the music industry, this will be my number one on that list. Guaranteed.
Actually?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, so it's a 2-for-1. You guys, everyone's getting an early peek, an early teaser into another list one
Early
day.
Christmas present.
Early Christmas present, yeah. So yeah, all the listeners get to hear this artist on this future top 5 and they get it early, and you apparently are getting golf merch. Callback. You're getting golf merch that we're going to pay for and we're going to sell. So the one that I replaced Lil Nas X with is, and this is where I want to stress, I don't think that this person isn't awesome and super talented, but they're overrated. It's Taylor Swift. Oh. And I think she deserves all she has by all accounts. Ed says it all the time, our hero. Like, she is the nicest person in the entertainment industry. So I don't mean anything disparaging against her. I just think all she does is write songs about breakups with guys. That's what it feels like. I've listened to a lot of her catalog, so I'm not trying to be too ignorant to, the fact, oh no, she has this song and this song about hope and this song about breaking
Being
free
22.
and this song about 22. And I get it.
Yeah. But
she also got a big chunk of her fame for doing that.
Right.
I don't think she's truly authentic to herself. I think she went from like being like this sweet singer songwriter with a guitar country girl to like this pop star and kind of abandoned her roots. And I just think she's a little overrated as an act. I don't think she's as great as, I don't think she's got a really good voice. Her voice is like, for the level of fame she's achieved, I don't think she's as good as that level. So to me, that screams overrated. Whereas at least Lil Nas X, I don't think he's that great as a music act. I don't. But he is, I can't deny the fact that he's breaking down barriers. He's really empowering a lot of people in the gay community to feel that they can actually be rappers themselves or whatever. And that, to me, I mean, I can't disrespect that by saying he's overrated because of that.
Right.
With her, she's just kind of just nice. And I think she's got a really good publicity team that makes her look like a superstar and the nicest person in the world. So, yeah, that's that one. And then the last one, I know we're at the hour point now. So,
we're going over.
Yeah, that's okay. So my last one is my most hated musician. I can't stand him. Everything about him I can't stand. And he's everywhere right now. And he's fake. And he sucked at rap. And now he sucks at rock. And I just can't stand him. And it's Machine Gun Kelly.
Oh, okay.
God, it makes my skin crawl just even.
Dude, he's like engaged to Megan Fox.
Yeah, that drives me mental. And like his little outfits he wears and stuff when he's like out in the public and all that stuff. And it's like, I don't know, man. It's like he's just trying to be like edgy and controversial and make people look at him and all that. And it's like, I don't know. He just really, really, really bugs me. He does not deserve the level of fame he has.
I can tell.
Eminem murdered him on Kill Shot. Like he actually just destroyed him on that battle rap song and like just destroyed his career. He stopped doing rap music after. Like
so fun.
And he's just a little dork, man. Like he thinks he's so cool and he sucks. Like he just sucks so much. I knew somebody in town that like was like a huge fan of his.
Oh yeah.
Back when I was still in the RCMP and he worked in the bar scene. Really, really nice guy. I won't say his name, but he was obsessed with Machine Gun Kelly and even like styled his hair and tried to look like him all the time.
Really?
Like the same same kind of style and everything. And it was like that bugged me right off the bat. I'm like, this guy isn't good enough for somebody to do that.
Right.
But yeah, I'm not a fan. Machine Gun Kelly. I so much don't like him. I very strongly consider, until I came up with the other four, I very strongly considered, once you gave me the idea right away, I was just going to do 5 different versions of explaining Machine Gun Kelly as my pick. Like I was going to like Colton
this week,
Colton Smith or whatever his name is. And then MGK. And then I would just Machine Gun Kelly and Kelly. I was going to give 5 different versions of his,
the same
to describe him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't stand him. Machine Gun Kelly.
I can tell that he's your number one. He's your number one.
If you're listening, Machine Gun Kelly, he's like, what? He spits out his drink. He was just enjoying our podcast like he does every week for the last 12 episodes. He's there with Megan Fox or in some tropical resort and he's just listening with his headphones on. He's like, no, not Luke.
Spit take.
Just a spit take when I said Machine Gun Kelly. So if you're listening, MGK, you suck, dude.
Wow.
You suck.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
You don't deserve the talent. You don't deserve what you have.
Cool. Well, I think that's a fun little segue into our new music.
Because we'll get to new music. Deserve what they
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm stoked to hear your new musician this week.
Cool. So mine is actually an act from Norway.
Oh.
Yes.
I think mine's also not from Canada.
From Norway as well?
I don't think he's from Norway.
No? Okay. Well, let's go to, they're called SG Forland Music. So capital S, capital G, and then Forland.
Cool.
So basically, I picked him as my choice. I had trouble finding out a ton of background info on him. I chatted with him a little bit on conversations on Facebook. Mm-hmm. So basically the pick I wanted to pick though is, I'm in a few different groups where people submit music and whatnot. And a lot of people submit stuff to us too, but I wanted to find something different this week. So I went through a bunch of different options of things that people submitted to us to listen and things that I saw in different, like previously, and things that I saw in different groups. And this one caught me just because I'm really fascinated with the idea of old songs that were made by like composers hundreds of years ago. Some of these, the concept of like, what would they be like if they had lyrics to them? Because it just wasn't a thing back then. Right. Unless it was an opera that they were composing. Mm-hmm. I've always had that kind of thought in my head, like over the years since I was little, even. I've always been fascinated with that concept, and you don't really hear it very often. And if you do, it's kind of crappy. So this one jumped out at me because he submitted this in just one of the Facebook groups I'm in, where it's like new music submissions only. And I was like, wow, I listened to 40 different songs and I found this one. I was like, this is really cool, man. Like I like where his mind is at with the creativity to it.
Right.
I'll give you a little bit off the bio from Spotify. So the song is called The Ballad of the 12th Symphony. And it's actually using samples as they were even described in their thing. It's based on the chords of Bach. And in the 12th Symphony, the Ballad of the 12th Symphony is the actual song itself. And if you actually look at SG Forland, so we'll put the links up as well as we always do. That way everyone can kind of know a little bit about them. But basically they're from Norway, produce music in the genre of electro synth, tropical house, and pop. And there was an Enigma-inspired project. The first project they worked on was with their brother. And some of these songs you can find on Instagram and all that stuff as well are pretty cool. So we'll put the links. We'll put the Instagram link. The Instagram is SG_Forland, Forland. And shoot them a follow as well. And this is the Ballad of the 12th Symphony.
All right.
She playing cool now, but these my rules now. Don't play it off. So shimmy up, shimmy yeah. We could unwind if you just let me. Shimmy up, shimmy yeah.
Yeah, man.
All right.
I love it.
Yeah, that's
it's okay
cool.
if it's not for everybody, but I don't know, man. I love the creativity of it. It's the only way I can really describe it. I think it's really cool to take
absolutely
take the chords from Bach and try to basically do something on their own to it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not trying to be too much.
Yeah.
Sometimes less is more in music, man. And I don't know, it's got a cool chill vibe to me. It just reminds me of like, I don't know, I would love listening to that I'm really enamored with the thought of like having songs I can listen to on a road trip at 3:00 in the morning. Mm-hmm. I think I've said this to you many times before, and sometimes I want to touch into that a little more, even with the stuff that we do. Mm-hmm. It's just tough, right? Because then it falls into like, okay, is this falling asleep music or whatever? But there's just a certain kind of vibe.
Right.
It's why I love like Drake's first two albums. They're two of my favorite albums, just because he had very like kind of like chiller,
laid back.
Yeah, just kind of chill, like whatever. I mean, driving on the highway, sitting in a room smoking weed with your friends, like there's just like a certain kind of vibe to it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And this has that kind of vibe.
Right.
Like you could be playing Mario Kart and listening to that and just be like super chill. Like there's something about it that just seems kind of chill.
100%. And I think that, yeah, like you were saying at the start as well, right? The creativity part is such a big deal. And, you know, when you're sitting down at like a keyboard or whatever it is, and, you know, you only have 88 keys to play with, and there's only 12 notes in the scale, right? You're only limited to so many things that you can do. I understand where it's like, just take it from something else, but I'm also going to put my own little spin on it.
Yeah.
Right. It's kind of the cool thing that, you know, you can do nowadays, which is super awesome. And, you know, make it into your own, make it something awesome that nobody's ever heard before. Put your own twist on it.
Yeah. I mean, as an instrumentalist, you'll appreciate it a lot more than me. There wasn't a lot of lyrics, but I like that they didn't try to do too much with the lyrics.
Yeah.
It was super kind of chill.
Absolutely.
There's more lyrics near the end, and he just kind of sings about this girl and stuff. So
nice.
It's it's cool, man. I like it. It was fun. Shout out to them. Give them a follow, please, as we always ask. If you reach out to them on Facebook or wherever, let them know Loop sent you. And keep doing your thing, guys. That was wicked.
That's awesome. Cool. Well, my pick for this week is this musician actually based in Italy. I found out in Milan, Italy.
Milan.
And his name is Gabriele Catoni. So it sounds very Italian.
Okay. Yeah. It absolutely does.
So it's all one word. If you're looking for him on Instagram, just Gabriele with an E at the end, and then Catoni, Catoni.
All right. And we're going to have those links as well.
Absolutely. So I was actually showed some of his stuff by my lovely girlfriend Alina before, and she made me learn one of his songs, which at first I'm like, I'll just look up the tabs and I'll look up the chords. But he isn't big enough to have those like up on, you know, just the same thing as our stuff.
Oh shit. Yeah.
Right?
So someone wanted to play coast to coast.
Exactly.
There's no tabs on.
No. Right. I've actually only given out like one set of like proper charts, actually maybe two sets of proper charts to like two different people.
Who were they? Because I know for a fact of one you gave out.
One I gave out to Jeremy Nisha because he had to learn it for our album release party.
Yep.
And then that was just one song I think that he had to learn that we were doing.
Yeah.
Which was Parachute. And then the other one that I sent out was to our friend Ashley Maurice.
I was wondering if you forgot and you
Ashley Maurice.
Yeah, huge supporter of us. She came to our show on Friday.
I gave like a proper tab of like how I played every single one, whereas I kind of just gave Jeremy chords.
Yes, but you actually gave a tab. You gave an actual straight out like
exactly
tabs
like note
to
for
that,
note.
Yeah, to that won't do, so she could play that when we first made it.
It was
January 2020.
It was like 2 years ago.
She saw us at a show in Vancouver, and she wanted to learn that one as well.
Yeah. So anyway, long story short is I couldn't find it, so I had to figure this out all on my own, and I think that I did a pretty good job for the most part. Haven't played it in like a year and a half because we don't know the song.
Is this you playing the song, or is this the person?
Well, Lena asked me to learn the song, and then I learned the song. But I haven't like played it again.
Okay, so your
I haven't even played
it
for like Alina.
Though. This isn't you doing a cover of this guy's song, is it?
Huh?
you're like, the new music choice is me playing this guy's song.
No, exactly. No, not at all.
Okay, good. Just making sure.
So he put out this song. It's called Your Light back in 2021.
Okay.
It was a coin toss between this one and then another one that he put out a couple of weeks ago, actually.
Maybe you can do that one next week.
Maybe. Yeah, okay. We'll see.
I already got mine next week queued up, actually.
Oh.
I'll give a little teaser while you're looking at what you're looking up. My choice for next week, I've already spoken with the band, is a returning act that we had earlier on the show.
Oh, right. I think you were telling me about
Big favorites of mine. I think they're so awesome. Guy and girl.
Cool.
Duo. And I won't tell more, but they're basically have a new song coming out and it launches on the 29th.
Nice.
And I already talked to them and we're going to try to hype it up and help get everyone excited about the pre-save before it hits.
Above and beyond.
Well, we want to,
every week.
They went, actually, I'll even say who it is. It's Evil Tongues. They're going to be back on the show. Well, just to create a little more excitement. So go check out they're coming next week too. Not them themselves, but we're going to have their new single early. So they're going to shoot you, John, some point this week. They're going to shoot you the MP3 so you can actually have it ready to go because you won't be able to stream it from YouTube.
Cool.
Or Spotify or wherever.
Awesome.
So you can maybe do that other guy. You can have back-to-back. First time ever someone has back-to-back.
It's true. Weeks. Absolutely. We'll have returning acts,
right?
For the first time. Cool. Other than that, go give him a follow on Spotify. I will give it to you after a brief little clip from his song. It's called Your Light.
All right, let's hear it. Dude,
Yeah, man.
it's cool. It's got like a Loops vibe.
Absolutely, it does.
Sue him.
No, no, he's he's doing absolutely awesome. Like I said, he's based down in Italy. I always find it super cool and super interesting when other people from like other countries can, just come in and, speak English. It sounds so good and so clean. I don't know. I always find that interesting.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Like, I know that there's so many other artists out there who like are kind of are along the same lines. Man, there's so many. Like, the band Kaleo, but they were kind of the same. They're an Icelandic band.
What?
Yeah, but they were kind of along the same lines as well. Anyway, yeah. Gabriele Catoni, amazing artist.
Well,
I was stoked to have him on.
Gabriel, thanks for your awesome talent, and hope you like John shouting you out.
Yeah,
because that was very deserved. That was wicked. And yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Absolutely. Yeah. Remember to give him a follow on Instagram and on Spotify. And like Kev always says, like we always say, just let them know that Loop sent you.
Absolutely. Yeah. Shoot him a follow. He's got more monthly listeners than we do. He's got more than we've had for an artist in a little while. He's got 9,200 monthly listeners.
Yeah.
Everyone counts though. He's pretty established, but I know I'm positive even at his level, he'll still appreciate the extra fans, especially out here in Canada, if you're listening in Canada and things like that. He's pretty sweet. I'm very confident every one of our listeners will appreciate and like his vibe.
Yeah.
Because it's us. It's
absolutely
very similar to us.
Yeah.
Sue up.
Like I said, he put out music before we did.
Sue us.
This song that I just played came out before our album.
Sue Loops. Sue Loops.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I'm shooting him a follow right now from the Kevin Roy account as we speak.
Awesome.
And his song, as well as the other song, are both Ballad of the 12th Symphony. Both going to be on the Loops official playlist.
Absolutely.
Diary of an Indie Band playlist. So you can listen to all the songs that we've ever played on the podcast to this point. Cool. That was awesome. Man. So let's wrap this puppy up and put her to bed, dude.
What's happening this week?
I got pizza that's cold waiting at my door.
It is.
It's not. I'm just kidding. I got leftover pizza in the fridge. It's even more cold.
I was wondering, like, why is it at your door right now, dude?
The delivery.
You just left it at the door. The cold delivery pizza from last night.
I just left it at the front door.
Just left it at the front door. Walked right by it.
Oh, yeah. That's the way to do it.
That's the way to do it.
We got 2 more shows this weekend.
We do.
We had, as of Saturday, there was 16 days in the month and we'd already played 6 shows.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's pretty freaking cool.
Yeah.
We'll have played 8 shows after this weekend coming up, and there's still another weekend to go. We have 1 show booked and a tentative one as well.
Is it only 1? No.
We have, what do you mean?
I think that we've got more.
Well, we got 2 this weekend.
I don't know. We had
Friday, Saturday this weekend.
Friday, Saturday this weekend.
Which brings us
and then 1 at the... Oh, okay. I see what's up.
Yeah, so we might play that one Friday at Cami Inn.
Right.
He's going to let me know.
Yeah.
But we're playing this weekend, actually, as well, at Match in Kamloops on the 22nd on Friday.
This one's in Kamloops.
This is the Kamloops Match.
Yeah.
Because we're starting to play a bunch of them.
We are.
By the way, I saw another one, a new Cascades Casino in Langley when I stopped at that card store on Friday. Yeah. And it was right across the street from this cool card store, Pastime Sports. Yeah. So there's a match there and it's like a newer location. So that'd be a wicked one to play as well when we're down playing other shows, even for Kevin or whatever.
Yeah.
So we have Friday and Saturday Match in Kamloops, and then Cami Inn, which we mentioned a few weeks ago. I was under the weather, but we pushed through, had one of our better shows. The place was packed by the end of the night. So if you guys are coming out to that show, there's already an event created on Facebook for it. I'm going to get some posters downtown as well, just to draw on, casual people that are waiting in lineups and whatnot. But if you are planning on coming out to that one this Saturday, make sure you come out earlier, between 9 and 12, because by like 10:30, it was pretty packed. They were turning people away past 11 because everybody that got sick of waiting in the lineup at Commodore
would come on over
across the street and came
They're
over
like,
to
we've
our
already
show.
been waiting here for a while.
Yeah.
So
that was super fun. I'm actually now looking forward to that show.
It'll be good.
Yeah, it will be really, really good. So we're pretty excited. So busy weekend coming up.
Yep.
We played, I want to talk to you about this on the air. I thought I would just save it.
On the air.
Save it for the air. Save it for the pod. On Saturday, we played for the first time in a couple years, it feels like, Dancing With You, song that you made.
Oh, yeah.
Years ago. That was on your EP.
Right.
And I loved it. I missed playing that one. It's a really fun song, man. I missed it. It was almost actually initially it was going to be on the first Loops EP.
Well, you know why I started it. You know why I started playing that song?
Okay, tell the story.
Because you ate 2 full steak dinners in about a 10-minute break at like
legit.
10 o'clock at night.
I was so hungry,
during
man.
the show.
I was fading. And
you
then
were
I was
fading.
like,
You're like, I got to go to the bathroom. And I'm like, he's going to be gone for like half an hour. He's going to be here for he's going to be there for the rest of the night.
which I wasn't. I was actually
No,
only
you
there
weren't.
for like 5 minutes. I was
Of course,
really,
it was
really
fine.
Yeah.
But I was getting set up and I was getting like everything like all sorted. So I'm like, may as well play this. I haven't played this in forever.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm just
Those
like,
steak dinners
whatever.
are awesome. They don't even serve steak dinners at Barside, but
No.
yeah, it was awesome. It was
Yeah.
absolutely awesome.
I'm saying yeah, but I had no clue.
No, yeah, they have like steak sandwiches.
I
and
didn't
stuff, and
realize
just
that
got
you
their 6-ounce
ordered
steak.
so much food.
I was like, I want 2
They had like
steaks.
3 plates that they brought out to the table because each one had steaks and like buns and like mashed potatoes.
Oh, yeah.
It had everything.
So good, dude.
Gravy.
I ate both steaks, a big chunk of the mashed potatoes. Yeah, it was awesome.
And then you still somehow didn't pass out on stage.
I know. And I powered through the next hour. Yeah, we had an hour left. We already played for 2 hours, and I started getting like steak sweats, and I had like this glazed over look in my eyes. I was like, I'm ready for a nap now.
Yeah.
And then I went to the bathroom, threw up a bunch. I'm just kidding.
No, exactly. No, you wouldn't do that.
I didn't do that. But then, then I came out and I splashed water in my face is what I did. Remember? And I'm like, yeah. And I came out and I was like, I'm ready to roll. And then, man, I was like flying for the last hour.
Yeah.
So now I think Jagger, Fisherman Friends, and
A steak dinner.
mid-show is the key for
Middle
me to
of the
sing the
show.
best possible, man. I think I have to do it.
No, you were gassed at the end of that show.
I was super tired after the show.
You're so
I always
tired.
usually go out.
Yeah.
If you ever want a time to hang with me at the bar, then it's after a Loop show because
Yeah.
I just have so much energy. I have so much
Absolutely,
adrenaline
yeah.
after singing that I just can't go home and go to sleep right away. And that was the first time, and I don't even remember that I just went home. And not only did I go home, because sometimes I've gone home, but then even back in the day, man, even before like Alina or like we'd play shows, sometimes we would just hang out for a few hours, play vids or watch a movie or something together because we both weren't ready to crash and we were both single. Now it's like, even at best, like if I don't go out, I'll like go home, watch a show, watch a movie, play a video game, do something to bring my
Unwind.
energy down.
Yeah.
I think I told you I was asleep like within half an hour.
Right.
From the minute I left Chances on the North Shore, no exaggeration, it wasn't any more than 20 minutes later I was fast asleep on my bed.
Yeah.
Like I got home and let the dog
Locked the
out
car?
and then locked
Yeah.
up and then literally
Yeah.
went to sleep. Like it was that I was KO'd.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. And those steaks were delicious. They were each like 8 ounces too. So it's like, I was like, I need more steak.
That's why I started playing Dancing with You though.
Yes.
Right.
So you started playing the doom 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 doom.
So I think
you looped it, which we need more loops.
I think that one will be fun to do. I think that we just got to do the same thing that, we do with like other songs where it's just like, you take the lead on it, right? Just kind of like pass it off to you. And then, from there on out, you can sing lead or whatever it is.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And then you can loop it or something like that just to make it into like something more of a loops feeling song.
Which is really what we did with Coast to Coast. It's just eventually we kind of like the vibe of you singing it, but then we really made it. It's so different than when it was before.
Oh yeah, and it's
so
still
different.
changing
And
as I play it more
it
and
does.
more, right?
And I've sang it lead, and honestly, if you were ever down on energy, I could sing it lead tomorrow again. We walked into the studio to record it. I'd been singing it lead for over a year straight. We decided on the fly to make you sing, and now we've gone back to that. But I could, it's just a cadence. I think I'd have to get the cadence down of the verses because your verses are very.
They are. Because I was drawing a lot
cool.
from like Ed Sheeran, right?
Absolutely,
I was trying to make them feel like that, right?
I think they're cool. They're super fun, but I have to be like, I know I messed up, then I'm in a broken heart. I only know like one every like 30 words.
Yeah.
See me out with the frozen wine.
With the frozen wine.
Oh, it's poison drink or something.
I don't know what it is. I was like 19 when I wrote it.
Right? There you go.
So
it's a great song though. So if anyone's curious and you hear this and you're at a show, be like, hey, Dancing with You.
There we go.
It's a fun little Easter egg for our listeners.
Absolutely.
Cool. I think we're good.
I think that pretty much wraps it up.
All right. First step in the new place, man. I think this is a good setup.
Yeah, man.
We could film these every once in a while.
You know what? I think so too. It's pretty scenic. We were talking about like the docs. We're talking about these islands here. Maybe we'll take a couple pictures and post that up in our weekly post or whatever for the podcast as well.
Actually, yeah. You know what? I will. I'll take a photo.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I'm going to take a photo right now. So that if you're listening to the show,
this is what we're doing.
The photo that you're seeing right now
Is this
Here,
one?
hold up a Stella.
An empty Stella.
An empty Stella. There we go. So there's that. And there's me with the background of the homeless island. The homeless retreat island. There it is. So those pictures are going to be our pictures for the weekly Instagram.
Yeah.
So if you listen to this point, now that you have some context.
Absolutely.
Tell us, what are your thoughts on Homeless Island?
Send us an email.
Is it a good idea?
Yeah. Keep us posted. Let us know your top fives as always. Send us your new music. We'd love to hear them.
We're not saying we should put the homeless people on there by force.
So I'm trying so hard to segue away from this.
I just want to be clear. I'm not saying we should force them to go to the island and leave them there. That would be mean. I'm saying if they wanted a retreat, like an island they can hang out at, we should give them the chance.
Also, be sure to rate us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasting. Whatever you want. Rate us a 1 if you think that this was a 1. I don't care.
This is the best episode yet.
Exactly. Yeah. Otherwise, Kev, you got anything else you want to wrap up with?
Nah, just keep on keeping on.
All right. Sounds good.
See you guys.